Lenovo Tenerife. It is a team that is built to win yet again, but you don't win on paper. You have to go out and you have to win it again. You have to deserve it. You have to go out and really battle. Frank Guerra, also Ivan Cruz is a newcomer. Of course, Joan Sastre, and this is Elgin Cook. Obviously, is a big newcomer to this team as well. So Chus Vidareta has been around the block, the coach of Lenovo Tenerife, and well, you know, this is one of the clubs that's been in this competition every single season, every year of the Basketball Champions League. And they are back yet again, and without question start as, again, one of the favorites to go all the way. Rytas Vilnius, though, a club with a very proud tradition, and they, you know, what do you have to say? Well, they come from Vilnius, you know, the hotbed of basketball. You know, it's the lifeblood. It's what people, it's the religion in Lithuania, how they feel about basketball. And this Rytas Vilnius club has as good of fans, as devoted fans as any club in Europe. And of course, what better way for some of those fans to spend the past several days than to fly to Tenerife, have a little bit of fun in the sun, and then watch your basketball team play against the defending champions, Lenovo Tenerife. So Rytas have already been introduced, and now we're getting a look at Tenerife, and it's really hard to imagine that we've already started a new season in the Basketball Champions League. It seems like the Final Four, that spectacular Final Four that was in Bilbao, where they beat Baxi Manresa in the final. It seems like it was just yesterday, but you know what? Time definitely moves quickly, and you have some of the iconic players in the Basketball Champions League in the history of this competition in this team. When you look at the likes of Dornekamp and Shermidini and Marcelinho Huertas, the great Brazil international, and of course Chus Vidareta, who easily one of the best coaches in this competition and in Spain. So he goes over and shakes the hand of his adversary tonight from Rytas Vilnius, Rytas Vilnius, who was an assistant coach for Lithuania, as well as coaching this Rytas Vilnius team last year. You know that he's learned a lot. Every year of experience that you get under your belt, the better it is. And a really good refereeing crew tonight. Alexander Glizic, one of the top referees from Serbia, as well as Andris Almkrogers from Latvia and Valentin Oliot from France. So looking forward to see those three amigos in action tonight in La Hamburguesa. This was the venue that hosted the very first Final Four. And talk about time flying. It's hard to believe that was back in the 2016-2017 season, back in the wonderful spring in 2017. But certainly everybody came to watch, and Tenerife fulfilled all the promise and the hopes, and really started to establish themselves as one of the teams, the main newcomers, the big boys in Spain, and also really put themselves on the map of European basketball. Will they become the third team to win the Basketball Champions League? Well, we've got a long way to go, but we'll find out. Lacunas, Ratsavicius, Eklodes, Marcus Foster, and Varadi, who had spent every year with his hometown club, Sombote, Falco Sombote. He's decided to branch out and go try something new. Good for him. We watched him play at the FIBA Eurobasket this year in Cologne for Hungary. And there is Rytas Vilnius, the head coach, shaking hands with Alexander Glizic. Sasu Salim, one of the premier sharpshooters in all of European basketball. You know he's one of the good shooters. And the problem is, how do you stop Lenovo Tenerife from getting him into positions to where he can launch his three-pointers? No coach does it better than Chus Vidareta. So Marcelinho Huertas, Sasu Salim, Georgi Shermidini, Elgin Cook, and Aaron Dornekamp getting into the starting five tonight. And you look at Dornekamp and you just realize this guy just does all the nuts and bolts work. And boy, he was spectacular at the Final Four last year for Coach Chus Vidoreta. Great decision to bring him back. And what better place to be than Tenerife in the Canary Islands if you are Aaron Dornekamp and your family. Wonderful place to live.
Full court press, enjoy doing that, surprise them. Enjoy doing that, point guards. Full court press. And the very next action after those, let's try Huertas one down, okay? Let's try Huertas one down.
Take your time. You take just one, doesn't matter if you take 10 minutes or not. We go. Everybody, just one. What we are looking for is on the fifth there. Go. Ideal.
See that last line, Huertas, 351 assists in the BCL. That's how many he's dished out, how many helpers. And to illustrate his greatness, 14 in the final against Manresa just several months ago.
The other way, but only at the end.
So this will be the main event tonight. Always is when Tenerife are playing, and they have got a very, very good, passionate following here in the Canary Islands. A little bit of a new design on the Tenerife jerseys. And of course, Rytas easy to spot with the red. So the Canary Islanders wearing that kind of golden yellow and the stripes down the side. And I honestly don't know what the rest of that design is, but whoever came up with it, kudos to you because it looks good. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Canary Islands. We're in Tenerife, and it's game day one of the Basketball Champions League. Tenerife taking on Rytas Vilnius. Tenerife winning the opening tip, attacking the basket to the right. And Sasu Salim goes down hard. And it looks like he might have been fouled going for the rebound by Benedict Verratti or possibly Lacunas. Maybe it's Lacunas. Yes. So it is indeed on Lacunas. There's Huertas putting it up and drilling the three-pointer already, picking right up where he left off last season. Radzavicius back outside. Verratti hits the three. No, that wasn't Verratti, excuse me. That was Lacunas. And down low to Shermadini. Hodas gets it over to Radzavicius, gets it back. Foster has his pass intercepted. Dornekamp lets it fly. Good. So Aaron Dornekamp, the Canadian who has basically made Spain his home the past several years, drills it. Rolling into the lane and missing was Benedict Verratti. Now Huertas comes forward again. His pass to Georgi Shermadini. And there might be a foul as well. And I don't know if it was on the shot or off the ball. And they call it on Equidus. Indeed. So a tough break for Rytas. Didn't look like Equidus was actually clearing out or anything. Marcelinho sizing up his options. You're going to give it to him. He's going to take it, and he's going to make it. Just too good. Too confident. And you don't want Tenerife to get off to a fast start, which they have. Timeout, Rytas Vilnius.
With Huertas, even if we push an under, he's small, man. The guy who is pushing him every time hand up, another side hand up, at least something, man. And last 6 seconds we switch. Hey, with silent, avoid switching early pick. Avoid switching early pick, okay? Early pick, we try not to switch. Like we used to do every time, like push an under. Or if he's very in shooting range, we go over. Okay, one more time, we go one down, and then we go chest. One down and chest, okay? Hey, 4 threes, man. Go, hit them, go, hit them down.
Well, you know Tenerife can hit the threes, but they stretch the floor, and it just creates problems because they're able to find Shermadini down low. Lacunas open. Equidus, and nice soft shot from Equidus. Well, he really laid his body on the line at the Eurobasket for Lithuania. Remember him taking a couple shots to the face. Here goes Shermadini driving, and Equidus. Oh, looks like a foul. It's the second foul on Equidus. Well, it's tough at the best of times to guard Shermadini one-on-one. So coming in is Rytas Vilnius. Points now, the advantage already, not even 3 minutes into the game for Tenerife. So that call on Dornekamp. And Foster drives in and scores off the glass. He wanted a foul call. Marcelinho Huertas again. And this time it's Karras that's called for a hold or a bump. And so far, Shermadini is getting the fouls to accumulate for Rytas. And here he is catching it down low and then missing. And then a kind of a late whistle with the foul called on Benedict Varadi. And if I'm Benedict Varadi, I'm not raising my hand. You know, I think there's been 4 whistles involved with Shermadini, and he's gotten the benefit of all of them. And I'm not suggesting that he doesn't deserve to get the benefit, but it just goes to show you what, you know, persistent problem that teams have trying to defend him in that low post. Another turnover. And Cook brings it back. Dornkamp. And Rytas with the rebound. Varadi. Varadi played a lot of minutes for Sombote, came off a great season. I know he had one really good game at the Eurobasket, but he seems a little tentative. And bringing in Margus Normanta is probably what Rytas need to do right now. Give Varadi a chance to sit down. Bruno Fittipaldo also in the game. The Uruguay international, member of that team that won it last year. Now the pass over to Salim. Foster, tough assignment for him. Salim, well, it looked like he forced it, but he was still able to get it to Shermadini, and Shermadini just reached over the defense and put it up and in. Foster dribbles in, and this time the whistle blows in favor of Rytas Vilnius and against Shermadini. Here it is again, Foster. In fact, they're going to call it in fact on Marcus Foster. So Jaime Fernandez, coming off the highlight of his career, winning the Eurobasket title with Spain. He checks into the game. Foster makes the first. Incredible story. Spain winning that FIBA Eurobasket. I don't know how many people predicted they would, but they absolutely deserved it. Second free throw is good as well. And Rytas will be happy to see Shermadini go out of the game. So Ivan Cruz checks into the game, makes his first Basketball Champions League appearance this season. Banking in the three-pointer for Rytas. Well, they'll take him any way they can get him right now. Rytas gets the credit for that one. And they're back to a 5-point deficit. Fernandez getting just enough contact as he drove from Karis, so he will go to the line. Yeah, you could hear him calling bank on that. Rytas. Good to see Tim Abramaitis back with Tenerife. Of course, he was also in that team that won the title in year one. It looks exactly the same as when he played several years ago, Tim Abramaitis. Jaime Fernandez gets but a free throw to go, and it's up to a 7-point advantage for Tenerife. 5.5 minutes into the contest. Foster to the corner. Rytas, just another attempt. Elgin Cook skips over Abramaitis, takes it up the floor. And that pass, a little confusion. Look at that, everybody's confused. Jarvis Williams goes in for the dunk. The broom sweepers are out there cleaning up the court. They had to run off. Drifting in and banking it in is Fernandez. He gets it right back. Foster drives in and scores. Rytas Vilnius starting to find some rhythm on offense. Fittipaldo steps back, lets it fly. Wow. So many options from downtown. Multiple three-pointers already made tonight from multiple players. And they battle away for the basketball. Cruz gets it up to Cook. Look what's cooking. Elgin Cook is. Elgin Cook has let the game come to him tonight. He definitely has the capacity to take over a game in crunch time when you need a player to create something out of nothing. Now they're coming out and putting a little pressure on the perimeter. Long shot. And Normantas can't knock it down, but they will keep possession as Fittipaldo not able to keep it in bounds. So Cook takes a seat. Joan Sastre comes into the game. See the confusion there. And Williams was off to the races. And the Brooms are still on the court. Or the Mops. The drive. Fernandez. Williams rebounds. Fredrickson, who's checked into the game. You got to keep an eye on him. Fredrickson of Iceland. Doesn't shy away from anybody. This is Fittipaldo stroking the three-pointer. And down low goes, and Williams, that high percentage look. And now they have a collision. And a foul called on Fernandez. Might have actually called that a jump ball. Well, they called it a turnover. Here's Jarvis Williams. So Eskidis Masulis is in the game now for Rytas Vilnius, along with Fredriksson, Normantas, Ulatskis, and Williams. That's Normantas. Fouled by Cruz. Normantas over to Williams. Three-point look. Velasquez misses, but Williams for the rebound, then has it blocked by Abramitis as he goes back up with it. Pass over to Fernandez. Pace of the game picking up a little bit. Williams has been lively since checking into the game. Difficult pass. They avoid the turnover, and here's Velasquez. No, that was Masula, missing down low. So they called the foul to put Fittipaldo on the line. Have they called a technical foul? Yeah, they did. They called a technical foul on the bench. I think they might have like a clock issue. Should be a couple of seconds that have ticked off the clock already. I guess not. Yeah. Anyway, final minute of the first quarter right now. It's all Tenerife. Fittipaldo. Battling for position. Musa Dian in the game. Good hands, Normantas knocking it out of bounds. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Great defense. And they're going to force a turnover. Now, will they attack or will they pull it back out for one? Yeah, they're going to hold it for one. Elvar Fredriksson. Back to Normantas. Gets into the paint, little runner. So, frustrating opening quarter for Rytas Vilnius. Lenovo Tenerife lead at 27-18. Well, here's a look back at some of the top plays from the first quarter. Marcelinho Huertas coming out, hitting not just 1 but 2 3-pointers. Lacunas hitting 1 from deep. Shermadini causing his normal issues. Dornicamp. I think they must have counted that as a 2. I thought it was a 3. But they must have looked at it. Dornicamp, yeah, it was counted as a 2, a long 2. Huertas with 6 points. Shermadini has 9. So no surprise those two guys have it going. This was Williams capitalizing on the turnover. Marcus Foster has 6 points to lead Rytas Vilnius. Huertas has possession here at the start of the second quarter. Abramitis dancing around, gets it back to the Brazilian. Sastre, now Salim, lets it fly. Oh boy, money in the bank. Such a good shooter. And when you add the fact that you've got Sastre out there who also can knock him down, as well as Abramitis and Huertas, it is a nightmare for Rytas Vilnius to have to go out there and guard on the perimeter. Now the skip pass over the outstretched hands of Normantas. This time on the other side, and, well, Salim is just not going to cool off, is he? Sasu Salim, probably the best three-point shooter in the history of this competition. Brings a timeout as Rytas Vilnius are reeling here at the start of the second quarter, trailing by 15 points.
Let's go one side 12, get this first action. And then we still go for shape. It's not about the plays, guys. We are not serious, Bled. We are not serious to win the game, Bled. Yes. One side 12, okay? And then for shape with Masulis. We need to make some stops. Let's go. Rytas. Come back. Come forward.
Well, you just can't lose sight of Sasu Salim, but as we saw in his previous 3, Normantas was right on him, but he just needed a split second just to get a little bit of space, and he was able to make that one as well. So coming out of the timeout, and a foul called, so a reprieve allows Fredriksson to get to the free throw line. Rytas just looking for a little bit of positive to happen, and Marcelinho Huertas whistled for the foul. Friedrichsen, quite the story how his career is kind of taking off. Played at Barry University in America, then Long Island. In fact, Long Island, Brooklyn, and then LIU Brooklyn, and then Barry, 2015 to 2018. But another three-pointer for Rytas, and they just keep the pressure on. Oh, good effort by Williams, not able to make the putback. Saline again, and this time it doesn't go down. Rytas gets it up to Foster, who almost gets into trouble. Here's Jarvis. Jarvis Williams, nope, and Friedrichsen has it. Here's Friedrichsen, and knocks it down. Third three-pointer of the game for Rytas Vilnius. Meanwhile, Tenerife are 5 of 8 from downtown. There's Marcelinho again, little runner. Back outside, Abramitis. Oh boy, it just doesn't stop, does it? So many options. You guard them, they go past you. Then you close off the lane and they pass it back out. And whoever catches it is looking to shoot it. And if that person's not open, he passes it to somebody else behind the perimeter that's open. Here we go. Nice drive from Foster. Rytas Vilnius just trying to absorb the punishment right now, stay in this game, and make a run. Easier said than done against Tenerife. Friedrichsen reaches in and commits the foul. So, in fact, Tenerife are 6 of 9 from three-point range. Rytas Vilnius are 3 of 6. Jarvis Williams goes out. Good minutes. Benedict Varadi comes back in. Also, Martinez Equidus comes back in, as well as Shermanidi replaces Musa Dian. So Frank Guerin not playing tonight for Tenerife. And Salim was looking to fire, wasn't he? Good job, Rytas Vilnius, to get out on him. And this time Sastre misses as the shot clock right before it expires. Had to put it up and he missed. Ehodis bumped and fouled by Abramitis. Ooh. And a late whistle, but Karras called for the foul, the charge. So Marcelinho goes out, Fittipaldo comes back in, and it is just a relentless situation. They pile so much pressure on you. Such a good bench, Tenerife. And if they've called that on Ehudis, that's his third. No, I think they called on Foster. Fittipaldo gets into the corner. And they get a stop, Rytas Vilnius. So I think they called a foul on Sastre. Well, it's been one-way traffic for Tenerife, but they're only up 13. If Rytas could go on a little run here right at the end of the first half, maybe even just get it down to single digits, they'll be feeling good about themselves going to halftime. Because they didn't call the foul on Sastre, they called traveling on him. The ball ends up with Ehudis. Soft shot in the lane. Back to an 11-point game. And Saline, not going to take no for an answer this time, but misses. And it goes to Ehudis. Oh, good, strong move, and he is fouled on the shot by Sastre. And here is the window of opportunity for Rytas Vilnius. Good pass from Varadi, who had the double team. Ehudis scored and then fouled. So a chance to get that deficit down to 8 points. Timeout, Tenerife.
No ha jugado. They didn't play a lot of ball screens arriving. But our rule arriving is always the same. ¿Eh? Lo que no puede ser es que Foster cada vez nos coja a la derecha. Hey, Foster, no red in the right side. Okay, no red. No es una cuestión de red, es solo juega reject. Only play rejects. Pero controlar la derecha. Control the right hand. ¿Vale? Y arriving, hey, flat. And only red if we can. If we stop the ball, red. Oh.
Some of the highlights of the action, and we'll see how Tenerife respond coming out of the timeout, and let's see if Rytas Vilnius can maybe continue to have some of this momentum here over the last several minutes of the first half. Well, that doesn't help from Ehudis. So 9 points separate these two teams. Tenerife getting it to Fittipaldo, and a foul called on Benedict Varadi. So he must have fouled him on the way up. Oh, he definitely got him on the left arm. So both free throws good. Here's Foster, and doesn't lose it. Back to an 11-point lead. Foster drills it. That's more like it for Rytas Vilnius. Now it's an 8-point game. Fittipaldo tries to get right back and does not. Radzavich is being chased by Cook. Radzavich is behind the arc. And Dornekamp. Now, have they called an elbow? I think Dornekamp was looking like he was flopping. But certainly the way Lacunas looks, they're going to have a look at it to see if it's unsportsmanlike. So this will not be the first time a foul with Dornekamp has been reviewed to see if it was unsportsmanlike in his career. Okay, what's the call? Glizic, unsportsmanlike foul it is. So the 2 shots and possession for Rytas Vilnius, and Dornekamp heads to the bench after the unsportsmanlike, and this really does open the door up for Rytas Vilnius. Of course, Dornekamp played a lot of hockey, a lot of ice hockey back in the day, growing up in Canada. Not to suggest he's a dirty player. He's just a physical player. And probably just a little unlucky the way that came off. And not what Rytas Vilnius were looking for at all. So they did not capitalize in terms of making the free throws. And Ehorsten misses, and if you can believe it, Rytas Vilnius came away with absolutely nothing on that trip down the floor. Alvarez missing, and another chance for the team in red, Rytas. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Radzavich is open from the wing. It's good this time. His second three-pointer of the game. And suddenly it's a 5-point game. Cook. He misses from deep, and there with the offensive rebound and put back attempt, Shermadini just bails him out of so many troubles. It's not just that he's big, it's his awareness. So he has to box out, get into position, and sure enough, he is fouled going back up for the shot by Radzavich. Or it could be Varadi. Take your pick. Yeah, they called it on Radzavich. And now it's Shermadini's turn to miss a free throw. Wow, Shermadini misses both free throws. What's going on all of a sudden? Neither team can make a free throw. And Foster, they call the block. And Foster will go to the line. The foul called on Fernandez. Tried to take the charge. That's his second. I think it helped Foster that he kind of slowed his progress, kind of almost came to a jump stop, knowing that he didn't want to charge. But it did look like Fernandez also had pretty good position, so that was a tough call to make. And Rytas Vilnius continue to close the gap. Now it's just a 4-point deficit. And Foster definitely leading the way. Can you believe it's a 3-point game? Unbelievable. Rytas comes right back and coolly makes the mid-range jump shot. Tenerife led by 15 points. And now it looks like another foul has been called on Tenerife. And this one on Abramitis. And Masulis gets up, and they're going to have a look and see if this is an unsportsmanlike. Well, the Spanish crowd will always jump down your get on you if you're a referee and you start making calls that don't go in their team's favor. Glizic from Serbia, Alkrogers from Latvia on the left. Both those referees were at the Eurobasket. They've done World Cups, Olympics, and now they're doing the Basketball Champions League. Okay, the crowd is happy to know that there is no unsportsmanlike. On the other side, it looked worse, but from that angle, it didn't look bad at all. And that's probably why they decided not to call an unsportsmanlike. So 2 free throws for Rytas Masulis, son of a professional basketball player. His father played for Lithuania's national team. It's usually the way it goes in Lithuania. You see a lot of fathers pass on the traditions down to their sons. Oh, nice backdoor cut. Fittipaldo had the layup, but decided to pass it. And that is goal interference. That ball had already gone off the glass before Rytas Vilnius blocked it. Did look like Fittipaldo had a wide open layup, though, and he just passed it. And the lob to Williams. And they wrestle for the basketball, and Dion does a great job. Ties him up. It's going to stay at this end. And just a little bit off on the connection to Williams. Normantos back outside. There's Masulis. A minute remaining in the first half. Tenerife up 5 points. They'd like nothing more than to go on a little bit of a run here at the end to give themselves some more breathing room. Oh, good defense from Rytas. They're diving on the floor. Then Williams, his pass to Rytas just goes over his head. Now the ball. Was it tapped? Well, I'm not sure what Vilnius is talking about there. So Tenerife get it back with 49.5 seconds to go. Remember, in this group phase, you win, you go straight to the round of 16. You finish top. You finish second or third, you go into the play-in for the round of the 16. And that was terrific drama last season. The play-ins. You finish fourth, you don't do anything. And the foul called. So a chance for a three-point play. So Normantos just with the reach. So Shermadini goes back to the line for a three-point play. And this time he does make the free throw. Cesar Saline going to come back in for the final 30 seconds. And Marcelinho goes out. So 3 assists to go with his 10 points for Marcelinho. 12 points now for Shermadini, along with 4 rebounds. 6-second differential in the game clock and the shot clock. Normantos steps back. Oh, they steal it away from Shermadini right at the end. Can you believe it? What a great play by Masulis. Well, Shermadini usually has his way with everybody out there, but this time he had the ball stolen. Look at this. Great play by Masulis. So that gets it back to a 6-point deficit, and Tenerife want to get a play here. Let's listen to the coach.
Vale. Jugamos. Marce. Bruno. Timi. Sasu. Vale. Primera idea como presto. Bruno. Marce. Pero luego, Bruno, si nada te vas. Marce, aguantas un poco. Tim, and pass back for Jaime. Y Jaime es el que juega, ¿vale? Venga, vamos.
I have to say, that was a lot closer. No, that was definitely off the backboard from that angle. 4.5 seconds, plenty of time to get up the floor to get a good shot. Oh, nice give and go. And Fernandez puts it up and in. Wow. Talk about execution to perfection. King Jaime. And Vilnius will not be happy walking off the court to give up a shot. But give him credit. The speed of Fernandez helps him get that 49-41 Lenovo Tenerife on top of Rytas Vilnius at halftime. Tenerife shooting almost 70% inside the arc, 50% from deep. 9 of 12 at the line. I mean, Rytas sub 50, but honestly, it's been a pretty decent game shooting the basketball for both teams. Tenerife with 3 more rebounds, and Shermadini, Huertas, no surprise there. Now Fernandez amongst the leaders for Tenerife. Foster leading the way for Rytas Vilnius. Well, what a great way to finish for Fernandez. He is probably going to end up being a very important signing. I think he already is an important signing for this team, as they chase honors both in Spain and the Basketball Champions League. So here are the best plays back in the first half. Saline coming out and reminding us, as if we needed reminding, that he's one of the premier three-point shooters, hitting threes from both wings. And then Huertas just makes it look so easy. Driving in. Fredrickson with his lone three-pointer in the game. Avramitis with his three-pointer. And you talk about the threes that have been made. So 4 different Tenerife players have hit it from three-point range tonight. I'm guessing that we'll end up with about 6 or 7. Foster, meanwhile, carrying the load for Rytas Vilnius. 13 points for him. And Foster again getting his points driving to the basket, but also stroking it from three-point range. That was his only make from deep. While Foster hasn't missed a shot from the floor, Shermadini has been doing Georgi Shermadini things. Just dominating down low. 12 points on 4 of 5 shooting from the floor. He's also 4-7 at the line. And he's got the 5 rebounds. Tenerife on top, 49-41 against Rytas Vilnius at halftime.
Aún puedes abonarte la temporada 22-23 del Lenovo Tenerife, con descuentos para universitarios, jubilados y otros colectivos. Visita cdcanallas.net y entérate de cómo conseguirlo ahora. El plazo finaliza este viernes 7 de octubre. Contigo tiene sentido. Y aunque estás a tiempo, visita nuestra tienda oficial y hasta con la nueva equipación oficial antes de que se agote. Sé de los primeros en vestir la equipación. Ahora, con el avance tecnológico que estará hoy disponible en la tienda del club.
Well, Rytas Vilnius with 5 steals. Lenovo Tenerife with 1. If Rytas Vilnius can force some more turnovers, perhaps get some easy buckets in transition, that would help them. No surprise, Marcus Foster leading this team in scoring. He is a very, very explosive player, as we've seen in the past in the Basketball Champions League. And you know that he relishes the occasion here in Lambergesa going up against the defending champs. Interesting thing about that stat is that Tenerife actually have more points off of the turnovers than Rytas. So turnovers overall have not been as ruinous for Tenerife as you might have expected. Each team with 16 points in the paint. Tenerife with 4 more points coming off the bench, 17-13 for Rytas Vilnius. And yes, even though Tenerife have turned it over 6 times, they have only been punished by Rytas Vilnius, who scored 4 points off those turnovers. Meanwhile, the 4 turnovers from Rytas Vilnius have led to 8 points for Tenerife.
We need defensive time, third of a game. That's how we go. 2-side-2 is the first action. So you slip, so Marcus can attack. Later on, 2-side-2, and later on we go 1-side-4. 1-side-4, you twist, you exit with 5. Okay, Iverson. You catch the ball. Hey guys, let's go.
Doble lateral, vamos, Canarias.
Well, Canarias, as the club is known here, Tenerife, again, winning this title twice in the 6 years. The only other team to win it twice has been Herrera San Pablo Burgos. They won it back-to-back, whereas Tenerife won it in the first year of the competition and the last year of the competition. And they were amongst the leading clubs in some of the other seasons as well. So it is definitely a team that you pretty much guarantee it's going to be in the running. Third consecutive year for Rytas Vilnius playing in the Basketball Champions League. They'd love to get a scout of Tenerife in their first game of the season, only trailing by 8 points. Rytas gets in and gets swatted by Ehodas right at the rim. Now Foster. Well, great defensive play by Ehodas. Good recovery here is Radsavicius Masoulas almost coming up with the steal. Skip pass over to Rytas for 3. Count it. Second three-pointer of the night for the former Fighting Irish forward from Notre Dame. Of course, that was quite a while ago now. And Cook hands it off. Huertas has it. And the dump down low to Georgi Shermadini, and the foul before the shot. So maybe a little bit of a break for, well, you can see quite a few conversations over the years with Chus Vidareta and some of the referees, including Glizic. So I'm not sure what the holdup is here. So they're going to restart. So 14 on the shot clock. 11-point lead for Tenerife. The pass whipped over, and this drive, and the basket is good for Cook. He'll go to the line for a three-point play. He'll take on anybody. And you can see he has the ability to dribble with his right and then switch the ball to his left hand. A very astute signing, I think, by Tenerife. Of course, there's no Kyle Wiltshire this season, probably the biggest of the absentees, and probably Cook, the biggest of the newcomers. Now the ball turned over. Here comes Rytas. Although you could also argue that Jaime Fernandez is the biggest. Here it is, the dump, and another foul called on Rytas. I mean, really, you wouldn't think it would be possible that they would have gotten stronger than last season, but it does look like that. Marcus Foster, meanwhile, expressing his opinion. And a three-pointer, and it just goes from bad to worse. Another three for Tenerife. Abramitis is third of the game. And Rytas Vilnius went from being down 8 with possession with Marcus Foster taking a three-pointer to now trailing by 17.
Only let's put Lacunas for Masul. Yes, Ben, no. So 55 with elbow. 22, 2 actions. Defense 11, still 11. Last 6 seconds, we switch, we cannot go overkill from shooters, Glenn. Guys! Hey, man up! Bring up! 21.
Well, it started well enough. They got the block from Ehodas, and then Foster went down, and had he made his three, it would have been a 5-point game, but instead he missed, and Tenerife have just come down and just turned it up a notch. Foster goes in and out. There's Ehodas with the rebound, has it taken away by Abramitis. Cook spins, and Abramitis hustles to the loose ball. Feels like it's lower the boom time right now for Tenerife. They are looking rampant, but Abramitis off target. So here's a chance. Friedrichsen trying to get it to Ehodas. Tenerife were ready. Rytas from deep, it's good. Well, he doesn't stop being great, does he? 13 points now for Marcelinho Rytas. Foster fouled as he gets into the paint. This is what Tenerife does to you. You're in the game, and if you don't take advantage of your chances, they will punish you. They have punished Rytas Vilnius here in the first few minutes of the second half. So Foster stops the bleeding with the first free throw. Takes his time and makes the second. And another basket for Tenerife, Sasu Salim. He's a walking three-pointer. He's got 3 of 4 to go from deep. And now an offensive foul. Oh, looks like a tough call on Karras. It looked like he was just kind of falling down. Ball goes out of bounds, back over to Rytas Vilnius. So former Hapoel Holon man Marcus Foster now out of the game. And it goes, and Karras goes up and converts it. He's looking for a foul. Cook doesn't get it. Back to a 19-point deficit. Three-pointer for Huertas. And Normantas swoops in for the rebound. And then he is fouled by Cook. So Cook gets the hook. He goes out after that. Third foul on Cook. Sastre checks back in. And Shermadini is going to go out. Cruz back on the floor. And the pass intended for Karras knocked away. Oh, nice step in for Fittipaldo, but doesn't get it to drop. Here's Verratti. And his pass thrown out of bounds. Just not quite on the same page with Normantas. Fittipaldo to Abramitis. Cruz going to work on the baseline and misses everything. Oh, nice passing. Finished by Verratti, or no, Lacunas. It's got to happen at this end of the floor for Rytas Vilnius. He got to lock down on defense. And here's Normantas, rebounds and runs. Goes behind his back. And Fernandez reaches in and commits the foul. Third team foul on Tenerife in this third quarter.
For Rytas Vilnius players foul. Hitting up a player Lucas.
Rytas out. Dornekamp back in. Oh, nice handoff again. Oh, Lacunas misses a layup. Well, that's going to give Javinas some gray hairs. You cannot miss that shot. Good hustle. And sometimes you do miss the easy ones, and Lacunas did. Had he made that, it'd be a 15-point game again. As it is, it's 17, Tenerife with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Fernandez puts it up. And a holding foul called on Rytas. So they called it on carries. As he kind of got tangled up. He's fouled out of the game with that. Rytas Vilnius back in the game. Skip past Jaime Fernandez into the corner. Good catch, Dornekamp. Put himself into a spin cycle and missed. Normantis on the break, and the three-pointer is good. And back to a 14-point game. Well, just under 12 and a half minutes remaining. Plenty of time for Rytas Vilnius to get it going here. Chus Vidareta knows it. He wants to nip this comeback in the bud.
Vamos a controlar la línea de tres. No tenemos que hacer otra cosa cuando vamos con un pequeño. Estamos atascados en ataque. Hay que tomar alguna decisión más clara. More clear the situations, you know. Marte de 1, Bruno de 2, ¿vale? Con Joan 3, Aaron 4 y Gio 5. Try to put the ball more times in the double side after the switch, but the question is not the switch, the question is we are changing all our sets. I don't know 4 down twice, I don't know the special set when 21, cuando estamos con Kevin, que no lo hemos jugado nunca, y team mal colocado. Tenemos que volver a los inicios, nuestro juego, aunque vamos.
So that was the Normantis three-pointer. Well, he's definitely taken a shot to the eye, hasn't he, tonight, Normantis? Nice artistic design, I have to say, as well, on the uniforms of Rytas Vilnius. I'm not sure what Javinas was looking at. He was annoyed by something. Rytas dancing around. Pass. Foul called on Benedict Varadi. And another technical foul has been called. And I think they called a bench technical earlier, so I think he might be out of the game now, Javinas. So there was a bench technical earlier, and now he's gotten the technical. So I guess because it was a bench technical earlier. He does not have to go. I was thinking that he had to. Well, he only makes one of a possible 3 free throws. So it could have been much worse for Rytas Vilnius. Again, looking to score. Varadi for 3. And good hustle. Jarvis Williams saves it in bounds. Varadi again. Gosh, not even close. Come Normantas, I'm putting it up. He just hit a 3-pointer. Fittipaldo bounce past Shermadini. Williams hands it off to Normantas. Back to Williams. So Varadi's going to take a seat. Hasn't played anywhere near his best tonight. We saw him have some really good games last season for Sunbolte. Normantas for 3. Williams with the rebound. Another chance for Normantas. Oh, they swing it. Rytas just don't have much on the perimeter right now. This Rytas Vilnius team. I mean, you got Fredrickson. But he's not in the game. So Dornicamp trying to seal the baseline. Called for the foul. Okay, so 44.6 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. So Dornicamp goes out. Abramitis comes back in. And Latskis makes the 2 free throws to get it back to a 15-point game. And again, still enough time in this game for Rytas Vilnius. If they can play some D, force some turnovers, get some easy buckets. Huertas for 3. And they dodged that bullet. They haven't missed many tonight. Shooting now 50%, 10 of 20 from 3-point range. Lenovo Tenerife. Foster should try to take this down as far as he can. He puts it up from deep. Good rebound. Rytas just puts up a very difficult shot and gets the benefit of the foul. You can see that Chus Vidareta was thinking that he put that up in hope. Rytas. Well, no, I mean, you could see that Shermadini lowered his arms. So that's why they called the foul. If Shermadini just has his hands straight up, Even so, they called the foul on Sastre. But Rytas Vilnius with a chance, getting it back to 14. Now it's Zavicius, who has looked pretty tired tonight. In all honesty, he's played a lot of minutes. He's played more than 25 minutes. And gets the free throws to go. So now it's a 13-point game, and the loyal following from Rytas sensing perhaps there's a chance. 5.3 seconds to go in the third quarter. Remember, Fernandez scored right before halftime in this situation. He gets it to Abramitis. He puts it up, and boy, did he come close. So it wasn't good for Rytas Vilnius that third quarter, but at least a little bit of a run at the end has given them a chance. Lenovo Tenerife lead it 67-54 at the end of three.
Vamos 17 arriba y no cogemos un rebote cada vez que falla.
4 more threes for Tenerife, and see, the free throw line has been important for Rytas in their comeback.
No rebounds. Hostia, macho.
Hey guys, let's try box and one. If something goes wrong, we go this to make a foul. If somebody go overload, we go together with a man. We don't know who will start.
Well, if you look at the highlights, what Chusvidoretta was talking about or emphasizing was the fact that his team's not getting any rebounds. Rebounds can be the lifeblood of a team, especially that's coming from behind. And Rytas Vilnius has 27 rebounds, 8 on the offensive boards, 21 rebounds for Tenerife. So 6 more rebounds for the visitors. You still say the win probability for this Tenerife team in this game would be, I would guess, around 80%.
Jarvis is playing this way. They somehow hedge. We lift up, we move the ball. Chest, it was good angle. Let's go, hey. Vilnius.
So Karras is already fouled out, and Verratti has 3 fouls. That's the only foul trouble for the visitors. Dornicat, meanwhile, has 3 fouls, as does Elgin Cook, as does Jaime Fernandez. So if Rytas can get a basket here, it can start to get interesting again. Fourth quarter underway here in La Hamburguesa, Tenerife. Normantes wide open, and the 3 is good, and it's a 10-point game. Well, it's kind of how Tenerife played a lot last year as well. And you always felt like it was going to cost them, and they ended up winning the title. But here they are, turning it over. Marcelinho Huertas called for the foul. Watch this. No Mantis. Yeah, you have to understand. You can see why Marcelinho Huertas has the bemused look on that one. I didn't see that at all. That's a tough call on Huertas. Marcus Foster explodes to the basket, gets it to drop, and it's an 8-point game. Normantes looked like he might have fouled Huertas twice on that previous possession, but they called the foul on Huertas. And now the mock applause for the referees after calling the foul. But you have to say, Marcelinho Huertas is talking to Glizic, but he was not the referee that made that call at the other end. And you probably have to say that Rytas Vilnius deserved a break as well. It's not like a lot of calls haven't gone Tenerife's way tonight. This thing's even out over the course of the game. Velasquez whistled for the foul. Pushing Dornekamp away. Moussa Diagne in the game, presumably because of the rebounding situation. And Marcelinho Huertas almost losing it. Saline gets it. Oh boy. What must it be like to have Sasu Saline out on the court and able to get you out of trouble? Just another three-pointer, his fourth of the game. And Velasquez misses everything, but it goes to Radzavichus. Normantas just hit a three. They got to run a play for him. And here he is. He's fouled by Moussa Diagne. And that's a good call. Moussa just getting in there a little too late. But for me, Normantas is the most dangerous three-point shooter, so I don't know. It seems like they should try to run a play to get him open. Here you go. He's going to get something going to the basket instead, but he's going to miss the shot. Saline, who just hit the three, gets it to Dornekamp, and he was tripped up by Williams. Saline again, make it 5 on the night. They might as well just go ahead and nickname Sasu the Blaze because he is red hot from three-point range most nights. He is unbelievable. Look at this. That's what you call making three-pointers finish style. With the fade, the hand in the face, it doesn't matter. He just needs a little bit of space and you're done. No chance.
So no threes for sure. 2-side 2 is the first action. Marcus receives the ball. Masulis follows, immediately slips. So Marcus can attack. Later on, we play simple angle again with the same ideas. Martinez, it's you to pick where to set the screen and then to follow their defense. Whatever defense is, we know how to attack each kind of defense. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Beat us.
So 14 points to lead for Tenerife. Again, Normantas launches. Thing is, he's not taking that shot coming off the screen, and this time the pass goes off the hands of Saline. Radzavichus, and good offensive rebound, Normantas, and they're going to count it. Good work. That was just missing, but so actually I don't know if they are going to count that. I don't think so. I thought he was saying it was good. I didn't realize it was on the box out. So no, oh no, they're saying it was Romantis that caught the foul. So no, the basket was not good. Didn't look like it was Romantis that was fouled, but anyway. The Silva's back in the game. And the handoff good. Fake by Rytas. Follows up his miss. Puts it back up and in. .12 game. Still enough time here for Rytas Vilnius. It's got to happen at this end, though. Oh, another three for Saline. Rytas Vilnius living dangerously as Saline misses the attempt. Rytas spins, gets it, and blocked from behind. I think it was Cook that knocked it away. Tenerife right now just look a little fresher, a little more bounce in the step. Saline for three. He's not going to miss many. Sasu Saline, the premier three-point shooter in the Basketball Champions League. He just does not stop making them. 6 of 8. What a way to start the season for Sasu. Three-pointer, and the ball bounces over the rim and out of bounds. Well, Sassu's the player of the game. I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, his shot-making ability, although you could say Marcelino Huertas with 14 points, 7 rebounds. He does have the 4 turnovers. Look at Sasu Saline. Just automatic. He's been doing it his entire career. Olympia Ljubljana, of course, primarily here with Tenerife. He's a Gran Canaria as well. Quick pass, and there's the finish. Shermadini. Fittipaldo with the helper. And the lead balloons back to 17 points. Al Krogers calls the foul on Saline. So Sasu Saline hears the applause as he goes out of the game. Dornekamp also. Now pulling up, and Fridriksson not able to get it to drop. And they battle for the rebound. It'll stay at this end. Oh yeah. No question about it. Rytas was fouled by Shermadini. Took his left arm off. Here's Rytas. When you think about down the road and you think about the favorites in this group, who might do what, who might you have to beat to at least get into the play-in if you're Rytas Vilnius. You've also got Peristeri, who are going to be tough customers. And you've also got Bnei Ofek Dist Herzliya from Israel. Now, we have seen some good things from Rytas Vilnius tonight, but we've seen far more good things, a lot more from Lenovo Tenerife. There's a lot more continuity and just a lot more options, and they just are able to, get good looks. Basically on offense, they just make it look easy. At no time tonight have you felt like Tenerife were really wobbling. You always felt like they were in control of this game. 8 points for Fittipaldo. So the two-time champions of the Basketball Champions League, including the defending champions, Tenerife, up 18 points and moving towards another win, or season opening win here in the Basketball Champions League. They're also unbeaten in Spain. Well, Ejodas came up, got the steal, and then kind of left his feet, not knowing where he was going to pass it, but he was fortunate. The foul was called on Fittipaldo. Well, one other thing to consider here, if you're Rytas Vilnius, as you career towards inevitably your third defeat in the Basketball Champions League history to Lenovo Tenerife, is you want to try to get this margin of defeat down as low as possible, because you never know, you might reel off a few more wins and end up facing Tenerife, where goal differential in the games between your teams means something. So you need to make sure you play this final 4 minutes and 12 seconds hard. And it's the same for Tenerife. They would like to build an insurmountable advantage in terms of a potential tiebreaker. I don't think it's at the front of their minds right now, but it should definitely be at the front of the minds of Rytas Vilnius. Every point counts. There's Cook. Missing. Ball comes back to him. Fernandez just kind of dances his way into the paint. A little bit of touche, a little bit of salsa. And the Spain international, the Eurobasket winner. I tell you, you add a player of his ilk to this Tenerife team, and you have to say he probably ultimately is the headline addition to this Tenerife team. I mean, that you cannot say there's a better backcourt in the Basketball Champions League than what Tenerife has. You've got Marcelinho Huertas, you've got Bruno Fittipaldo, you've got Jaime Fernandez. Just in terms of playmakers.
Like we started the game, one up, whoever is 3 now, he is setting the back screen and slipping with full speed. So first action is 1 up, Spain. Next action we can play 14 with Masulis, 13 with Lucas, with Kitas, doesn't matter who's on the court. All right, let's go. We need good decisions, better decisions offensively.
And probably with Saline, I mean, he's laying down his marker again tonight as the premier shooting guard in this competition. I mean, what other conclusion can you draw when you look at the performances from a guy who was a key man last season when they won the Basketball Champions League? And look at the start that he's had tonight. Sasu Saline is an elite player in this competition. Here's the drive, and the basket is good from Foster. And the problems that all the teams will face as Foster goes to 19 points when they take on Tenerife is not just Saline that can hit the three-pointer, but he is the one that is most adept at getting open and also making three-pointers in stressful situations or when he doesn't have that much space. He's the most reliable three-point shooter, and he can go off at any moment. So Ehudis taking one for the team there. Cook a little bit frustrated. Catching him in the head. Watch this again. I mean, Cook, you can understand why Cook is frustrated because he's going for the basketball. But he also clattered into Ehudis. And something about Ehudis, just he ends up really taking a lot of shots for his team, whether it's Lithuania or whether it's Rytas Vilnius. So now the referees want to go and look and see if it maybe was sportsmanlike. I didn't see that from Cook. Well, it's borderline, I guess you could argue it's borderline dangerous the way he's swiping at the ball. With Ehudis there, but I'd be surprised if they called it. But you feel for Ehudis. But one thing you have to say about Cook, he's a competitor, but you got to maintain that emotional discipline because you don't want to get any technical fouls. Referee makes a call, you just take it. So they have indeed called it. It's more of a dangerous, I think, play. The way he swiped down and he called Ehudis in the face. So this makes it interesting. This is okay. I thought we were going to avoid this tonight, but Chusvita comes up. And it's going to give Glizic a piece of his mind. The only thing is Ehudis hasn't made free throws tonight. Okay, it does make this one. So again, Barrett, okay, watch how he swipes it there, bam, and then he really catches it. It's kind of a dangerous swipe, so I think you can understand why the referees have made that call. Chus and Cook are saying, hey, he's going for the basketball. He's just trying to knock it to his teammate. So that makes it a 14-point game. And again, bear in mind the goal differential issue that, I was talking about earlier, that these two teams end up in a tiebreaker. And there's Ehudis, so it's a 4-point trip down the floor, and now it's a 12-point game. And really, all of a sudden, this game is not done and dusted. If Rytas Vilnius can get a stop or get a steal, 3-point shot, oh boy, that takes care of that, doesn't it? Marcelinho Huertas just elite himself in those big moments, back to a 15-point lead. And was trying to go right at Shermadini. Good idea. Maybe even go harder to the basket and try to get the foul called. A minute and a half remaining. Shermadini catches, and the foul's called. a mismatch. That was always going to happen. Shermerdini is being guarded by Fredrickson, and he wants the basketball because he wants to take advantage of it. So 17 points now for Shermerdini. Points for Shermerdini. But I'm going to stand by what I said earlier. Saline is the player of the game. Here's a drive, and Shermerdini with the rebound. So coming up on the 1 minute mark in the game, and Tenerife getting ready to officially go to 1-0 to start this season. Ehud is missing, and the follow. Great hustle from Masulis. Musa Dion comes back into the game. That's just great hustle by Masulis. Here's Saline, and the ball goes off of Musa's hands. Now Foster with a little runner, trying to make this final score more respectable. They'll try to get one last basket. Tenerife. 5 on the shot clock. Stay with him if you can, and the reality is you can't. Rytas takes everybody to school. Masulis from beyond midcourt, and that is how it finishes. And I'd have to say probably a fair reflection of the game. Maybe could have been a little bit more decisive in terms of a points differential for Tenerife, but they win it. Lenovo Tenerife 89-74 over Rytas Vilnius. Well, folks, in case you're wondering, the powerhouse remains intact, and perhaps the favorites, definitely one of the favorites to win this title again. And that is Lenovo Tenerife. Rytas Vilnius started as underdogs. Probably could have played a little bit better and made this closer. They'll have to learn from this experience. They were right there. They were down 8 points with the ball early in the second half. And that's the part of the game tape where they need to go back and examine it. And they say thank you to their fans for flying down to support them here in the Canary Islands. Chus Vidaretta, meanwhile, says thank you, everybody. And the familiar sight of smiling Tenerife players after the game here at midcourt. Frank Garrett making sure his hair doesn't get messed up in the celebration. He didn't even play tonight. Well, those are the final numbers. Tenerife shooting well over 50% inside the arc, and then 50 from deep. You know, Rytas sub 50, sub 40, in fact. So offensively, they were a lot more challenged. Rytas gave themselves a chance with the rebounding and their defense, but ultimately, just so many options Huertas, Marcelinho Huertas, Sasu Salin, Georgi Shermadini. All three of those players finishing in double digits. And Abramitis finished 3 of 6 from three-point range. Normantas hit that one. They ended up finishing just 7 of 23 from three-point range. They're going to need more from Benedict Verratti. He didn't score tonight, and he was one of Falca Sombote's main players the last few seasons. So a Hungary international, they can expect more production out of him. Foster had a nice game. Game had 21 points. And that was Salin hitting 6 of 8 from three-point range. Just breathtaking stuff. In fairness to Marcelinho Huertas, he was 4 of 6 from three-point range. So he's got the complete game. But Salin was just sensational. He was superb. He was leaving all of the fans starstruck tonight. Sasu Salin, once again, catches fire from three-point range. The fabulous Finn does it here in La Hamburguesa. And when he wasn't doing it, that man right there was Shermadini. Ended up with 18 points, 6 of 7 from the floor. And then Jaime Fernandez, what an addition he's going to be to this team. It is a very good-looking team. In my opinion, you can never have too many good ball handlers, too many good scoring guards. Jaime Fernandez scoring 8 points on 3 of 7 shooting. So again, Tenerife roll to victory here over Rytas Vilnius in La Hamburguesa. They start off their Group H campaign 1-0. So here's some of the highlights right at the end. Again, Abramitis and Marcelinho doing the damage as he so often does. Tenerife roll to victory.